trust no one.
Don't you ever forget who your family is.
It's too late to be scared now.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now tonight we'll be talking about Power Book 2 Ghost, Season 2, Episode 1. This is my quick thoughts, early impressions of the episode. You guys let me know down below what were your quick thoughts, early impressions. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, as soon as this episode started off, it just felt way darker. The episode had this dark tone to it, this like murder mystery type vibe going on. Of course, we know Professor Jabari Reynolds was the big talk on campus, but man, the whole feel of the episode in this season feels completely different already. It's way more darker in my opinion. It's almost like they even changed the camera lenses or whatever to make it more dark type feeling in my opinion. But overall, the episode was a very good season opener. Very good season opener. And man, all this pressure, man, it's about to get cracking this season, y'all. All the pressure is going to be put on Tariq, and at the same time, Monet, the Tejada family, her kids, they are getting very tired of taking orders from her. They're tired of taking all these orders, and this is what this episode really was about. As I told you guys in my final predictions, usually whatever lesson that they're talking about in the classroom, that's what the episode is usually about. I believe the episode is titled Free Will is Not Free, and you pretty much saw it in this episode. Let's start off with your boy Tariq. What was my quick thoughts, early impressions on his performance in this episode? And pretty much, man, Tariq has there's a whole lot that he has to try to manage, from trying to bury this stuff with Professor Jabari Reynolds, trying to make sure Kane doesn't rip his head off, trying to make sure Monet doesn't rip his head off, and at the same time, he has to make sure that his sister Yasmin is okay. And during the whole episode, he is trying to figure out if Tasha is ever going to text him back, which never happens, right? I mean, this dude is going through so much mentally. And on top of that, the dude almost got popped out there deer hunting with Brayden. I'm looking like, man, dude, like, you about to get popped. It was like that close, inches from hitting Tariq. But he was able to survive that. But the whole episode, he was kind of like tweaking out, keep getting these flashbacks of what happened to Professor Jabari Reynolds, getting flashbacks of all the stuff he's done. Hell, he got flashbacks of taking out his pop's ghost. And I'm looking like, man, dude, like, you got to get it together. But for the most part, as far as him presenting it, he did his job. You know what I'm saying? He did his job. It's just that those mistakes, and these are some of the mistakes we was talking about, that cell phone. Now, it was a huge question, and I saw some of you guys mention this, about what type of, cell phone was he using? Was he using a burner phone? Now, I told you guys that usually Tariq is always using a burner phone when he's talking about anything illegal or whatever. We saw that in this episode. I mean, this dude just kept pulling out the burner phone over and over and over, trying to contact Tasha. But keeping that phone was a weakness. Now, Detective Kevin Whitman, he's going to be on it. He's going to be like, okay, now I know whoever had a conversation or the last conversation with Jabari Reynolds is on this campus. And 9 times out of 10 is one of these students. So he's going to put it all together. And it's becoming, I will say, easier for him to do this because all the evidence is just lying right. I mean, it's falling right in his hands. Then you got Professor Milgram, who was going through it so much. We know that her and Detective Whitman, they got a pass. We know this, and that's no big surprise. I mean, this girl loves getting her cheeks clapped, so that's no big deal. The big deal is her messing around with Zeke still, and that's going to be a weakness, y'all. It's going to be a huge weakness. Now, as I told you guys, the episode was pretty much about I'm tired of taking orders from everybody. Monet, everyone is tired of taking orders from her. And I'm looking like, how old is Drew and Diana? I mean, Drew did mention we're grown. Yeah, you're grown. I mean, Monet is talking to them like they ain't nothing, especially Diana. Diana put in that work as far as keeping her composure, getting the boys up off of them. I mean, she was trying to try on this, well, she tried on that dress, and she was looking good. But Monet was like, hell nah, take that off. And I'm like, oh no, put that back on. Like, what are you talking about? Diana can't do nothing. And this is going to turn the kids on their mother. Now, Mary J. Blige, she did actually mention this about how, you know, the kids eventually, they will want to leave the nest. I mean, that's quite obvious. They're going to want to leave the nest, especially the way that Monet acts towards the kids. And she is telling Zeke as well what to do, talking about, you're going to enter the draft. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And I'm like, okay. So Monet, I guess she took it up to the next level this season already. Now, I noticed one thing. Monet is getting more screen time this season. Remember, in season 1, at least at the very beginning, they didn't give her a whole lot of screen time like that, in my opinion. But this time around, she's getting way more screen time. And she's not playing around. She's telling everybody what they need to be doing. And I'm looking like, these people ain't going to sit up here and take orders from you. They grown. They ain't little kids no more. But apparently, in Monet's eyes, they are her kids. I mean, she's a mom, and I guess that's how she sees things. But that's going to be a huge weakness in my eyes. Quick thoughts, early impressions on your boy Rashad Old Dog Tate. He is back. Of course, he is out the whole governor's race. He is trying to come back and prove his point. He is trying to gain this power. And you already know he's going to do it. You know Rashad Tate is going to do it. He's going to find that dirt on that politician Swinney. He will find that dirt somehow, some way. I mean, it's Rashad Tate. He's going to do what he has to do. Quick thoughts, early impressions on Cane and Mecca. Man, what a hell of a relationship, y'all. Mecca has already proven that he's not someone you want to play around with. At the same time, Cane, he is trying to prove himself. And him and Mecca is going to have a very interesting relationship. I can't wait to see Mecca and Monet hook up. I want to see how that all plays out. And then I want to see how Cane is going to react with his mother and Mecca. And on top of that, Cane was hoping and praying that he can get back good with the family. But in this episode, it did not play out the way he wanted it to play out. And he is pissed off because Tariq told him he will fix this and he will get him back good with the family. So as of right now, that's not the case. Quick thoughts, early impressions on Drew. We know he got shot last season. And he's like, man, I'm tired of all this. And he's the one that's pretty much pushing for it to step away. Like, look, we grown. We can't sit up here and keep taking all these orders from Monet. I mean, we got to eventually do what we want to do on our own. So we're going to see how that all plays out. If this family is going to be going to war, this is not a good look. Monet definitely does not want her kids to turn on her, especially if you're going to be going up against Lorenzo. And you already know Lorenzo is going to be very pissed off about Mecca, right, when he gets out. And I can just feel that tension in the air. Like I told you guys, this episode, I don't know about y'all, but to me, it was very high tension. From the very beginning to the very end. It's like they purposely wanted to incorporate that into this episode, hell, into this season. It's a little bit more darker. We can feel that. But I think they're just showing us how serious it's starting to get. And it's already, in my opinion, you know, very different than season 1. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a whole entirely different vibe. I believe those consequences, as Tariq said, you know, you're dealt that hand and now you're going to deal with those consequences. Well, he is dealing with those consequences. We're going to see how he's going to adapt to those consequences. Hell, we know him and Lauren, it didn't really go too well for them in this episode. It started off okay, but Tariq, y'all know Tariq, he has to always go handle business, which pissed off Lauren. So we're going to find out exactly what's going to happen. But you guys let me know, man. I know I'm all over the place, but the episode was solid. You know, I'm very excited to watch the season premiere. But I will be breaking down the full recap tomorrow for you guys. So get ready for that. But I want you guys to leave your theories, predictions, everything down below. You let me know exactly how did you feel about episode 1 right after watching it. You know what I'm saying? What did this episode make you feel? Was it great? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave it all down below. We will be breaking down the full recap tomorrow. So stay tuned. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.